flowing through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in a roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, welcome to it. Welcome to THFC to with I home time past present and the exciting future under somebody. And it definitely won't be Tottenham Hotspur. Tonight we're asking the question, Spurs are broken. And why are they broken? Tequila will be joining me. He's just running a few minutes late. But I want to talk tonight about how I feel about Tottenham, how I feel about what's happened this season, and how I feel about the ownership, the manager, the players, change for Tottenham, all of this. Because I've had so much over the last few days. I feel, I feel I must defend. I have to speak my mind on some things. Something I don't normally do. But I feel tonight I have to, and I feel tonight it has to. I have to speak from the heart. I have to speak to how I really feel and where I stand on things. And yeah, we can all have a laugh and joke, but I'm just heard so much bullshit over the last couple of days that it really does make you think, why do I bother? And I bother because of this football club. I bother because of this love I have for this football club. And it's a football club that on the moment, if it was a human, it would be on life support. And you would be discussing with your families, do I turn off the life support or not? Is it worth keeping it on life support? And that's not our fault. That's not the fans' fault. It's the ownership's fault. It's football, as football has evolved's fault. It's people that have come in and all they think about is business. They don't think about the fan. They don't think about the pitch. They don't think about the glory. They think about the profit. And we have owners that all they care about is making their next profit. And we have people that are in charge that haven't got a clue. They don't care. They don't care about if we go up or if we go down or if we what we do. They don't care. They stack Thomas Frank. Oh, we get this fella in. He doesn't know the league. He doesn't know the English football. He doesn't know the Premier League. But we get him in because he's a cheaper option. He'll get us out of trouble. He's a firefighter. Well, I'm sorry. He's made it 20 times worse. And we're right back where he started. We're right back where we started. This time last year, we're right back in the place where we were when last season ended. We ended in 17th, 13 points off the bottom tree. Do you know what? We were lucky because them three teams were crap. And we've ended up back to where we started. How the mighty have fallen. That night in Bilbao, I'll never forget because it was a night we won a trophy. But did that trophy just mask over the surgery that this club needs, the heart surgery that this club needs? If this was a human being, be on life support, needing open heart surgery or a heart transplant. Because this is what this club needs at the moment. We're a club that is dithering nowhere. We're going nowhere. We're going down. We'd be lucky if we stay in the Premier League. Players don't care. Owners don't care. Managers don't give a shit. Why would you come to Tottenham? Why would you damage your reputation coming a manager of Tottenham Hotspur? One of the greatest teams in England. One of the most successful teams in England. A team that has a proud history. A club that has a proud history of winning the FA Cup as a non-league side. Nobody's done that since then or now. That's never been done again. A team that won the first English side to win a European trophy in 1963. The first English side to win 2 European trophies in 1973 when we won the Europa League. Won 8 FA Cups. We've won 4 League Cups. We've won 2 League Championships. We never were a League Championship side. We were a Cup side. Tottenham have always been a Cup side. We've never found the consistency of the 50-51 or 60-61 team to really win a league. And we've come near a few times over the years. We've come near with Pochettino. We came near with David Pleat. We came near with Keith Birkinshaw. But we've always been a Cup side. And I think I've always been okay with that. I've always, as long as we're competing, I'm happy. And you know me, I've been doing this nearly 5 years. I've been doing it 5 years this August. That I'll always back my team to win. I never back Tottenham to lose. Even if we're in the bottom of the league, I would still back them to win 3-0 because of my love for this football club. Do you know, in life, you can't, there's 2 things you can't choose in life. You can't choose your life, you can't choose your family, and you can't choose your football club. You can't choose which team you're going to follow when you're born. Like, you can't help who you're born into. You don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet when you're going to meet your wife or your girlfriend or your partner. Life has a way of mapping it out for you. The only thing you can do in life is try to make it as good as you can and try to improve what you can improve. Don't stress what you can't stress over, or, you know, and improve as a person. 2 things are important to me in my life: my family, which is number 1, my partner, and my 2 boys. They're the most important thing in my life. They come above anything and everything else in my life. My 2 boys and my partner, my wife to be. They're the number 1 things that I care about the most. And then the second thing I care about the most is my football club, Tottenham Hotspur. And that's why I do this channel for a job. That's why I picked this as a career, to be a content creator and talk all things Tottenham Hotspur, talk all things Republic of Ireland. And they're the 2 most important things in my life. And I cannot gather, or I cannot understand why a club as big as us can go down the pan as so fast as we've done over the last 25 years. Because we've had owners who don't care. We have owners, all they care about is making the next big buck. And we've got footballers who don't care, footballers who demand luxury, footballers who demand we must have the best of everything. We must have this, we must have that. Footballers of the past that I grew up watching, Graham Roberts, Paul Miller, we've got Graham Souness of Liverpool, even players going through my years supporting Tottenham Hotspur, right? My first heroes were Glenn Hoddle and Mickey Hazard. Then you went through the 87 side, Glenn Hoddle's last year at Tottenham when we really should have won a trophy, but we didn't under David Plate. Then we had the Terry Venables revolution where he came in, we were struggling. He built a side that won our 8th FA Cup. I was a teenager the last time we won that trophy. But there are players in there like Gaza and Paul Allen and Gary Lineker, Gary Mabbutt. Gary Mabbutt, one of the biggest inspirations to any human being in the world who had suffered severely with diabetes, had to take an injection before every game before he went onto that pitch. He played, I remember he got his eye socket broke and he came back and played. A man that's come back from broken legs. Dave Mackay came back twice with 2 broken legs in the 60s. Where you broke your leg back then, that was your career finished. You were done with. And you weren't on the money like the players were on now. You had to take a summer job. Jimmy Greaves had to take a summer job to make ends meet. Thank you. To cover himself because they weren't on the mega money that they are now. We got players at Tottenham that are on thousands of pounds a week, hundreds of thousands a week, and they're not fit to wear the shirt. And who suffers at the end of the day? We do. We suffer. And then we get people telling it's the fans' fault. It's our fault. It's our fault. We deserve this. You get the club you deserve. That is a load of BS. It's a major load of BS. Because we all support this football club one way or another. We all love this club. We all want this club to do well. We all want this club to succeed. We all want this club to win major trophies. We all want this club to be successful. But we're not doing it. Why? Because there's some fans don't want to protest, so some fans do want to protest. All we want is a football club we can believe in, that we can get behind, that we can support every weekend, every week, going home and away in Europe or wherever, that we can get behind. And we still do. Thousands turned up, full house every game because we believe that we are Tottenham Hotspur. We believe that these players somehow will get a result. I'm not angry with these players. I am severely disappointed with these players. I am severely disappointed in the way these players go around and do their business. I am severely disappointed in this football club that we cannot get anything right. Why? Because they're the biggest bunch of losers this world has any seen. But it's okay. We blame the fans. It's all their fault. We blame them. It's easier to blame them. Oh, we'll come out. You're not a true Tottenham supporter if you boo a player. Well, boo who? There's people in life that suffer more. That I know people in my own personal life that are severely ill, that show more inspiration, more guts, more determination than some of these players show in a lifetime. I know people that have probably got 6 months to live, and they would get up every morning, go out and do the stuff. My father, who had lung cancer, worked until the last 3 months of his life. He never missed a day of work, and he was dying. He would go to work with me, and okay, he couldn't do what he used to do, but he would make sure he wanted to go to work. And he was prepared to go to work even after chemo. He would go and have his chemo and he would come back to work. He'd be thrown up behind the machine because the chemo would make him ill. But he would still come to work. That's dedication. That's putting your body on the line. That's doing something. These players, they couldn't even get out of bed unless somebody helped them. They probably have somebody help them tying their shoelaces or brushing their teeth. What do they know about real life? What do they know about a hard day's work? What do they know about the real world? They live in cloud cuckoo land where everything is done for them. We must have the best seats for them. We must have this for them. We must have that for them. Players years ago had to get ready in a little shed. That's how they got ready. And they go out and they put their body on the line. Because Bill Nicholson told them before they went out, they said, you're not playing for yourselves. You're not playing for this club. You're playing for the fans that pay your wages. The fans that put money out of their well on these men and women that work 6 days a week. They, not great money, pay their money to go and watch your football and go and watch you play. They're paying your wages. These players don't care a shit about us. They didn't give a shit about us in COVID. They were still playing in empty stadiums. Why should they care? They were still getting 100 grand a week. I am very angry of this football club and where it is. And I said it Sunday, this football club's dead. The team I support, the club I supported, died. And who I hold responsible is Enoch, Levy, and these feckin' players that need to grow a pair of balls. Because if they don't, we will then be in the Championship next year. And I be doing watch-alongs the way to Lincoln City. And these players here that are playing now, they won't be here. They'll be off playing somewhere else. They won't give a shit. Why should they? Because they'll just move on, the mercenaries. They just move on to the next club. Move on to the next project. And who's left to pick up the pieces? Us, the football fans. Us, the fans that support this club. Us, the fans that stood outside the West Stand back in 89, 90. Did we have a football club to support? Would a club even existed? I remember them days. I remember waiting for news at 10 to come on. Has somebody bought us? Because we were that close of going out of business. We were that close of going to extinct. There wouldn't be a Tottenham Hotspur now. There wouldn't be a THFC Till We Die YouTube channel. We're probably talking about knitting or probably talking about women's volleyball. I don't know. And even still, after Sunday, after did what we did as fans, we turned up in our thousands to show them players what we think of the football club and what we think to them. We gave them our all. What did they produce? Nothing. They couldn't care. And still we supported them. Still we backed them 1-0 down. Still we're backing them at 2-0 down. 2-0 down, people were leaving, and there was a right to leave. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. If we don't survive, I'm holding the owners and the players truly and completely responsible for the diabolical crap we've been watching for 18 months or so. Good evening, Tequila. Sorry. I had a lot to get off. Sorry.
Oh, mate, I was going to leave again. I thought he doesn't need me to come on, does he? You can do this all hour.
Sorry. I apologize. Sorry. I just felt it welling up in me. And I think it just all came out.
Well, if you want any perspective, I just saw an old lady fall down the stairs about 45, 50 minutes ago. So this puts stuff in perspective. So word of warning, if you get quite old, don't try and walk down the stairs if it's dark.
Is she all right?
Ambulance took her away. I think she might have maybe broken her leg. We'll see. Bless her. So that puts stuff in perspective for me. I won't, it wasn't a good thing to hear. So yeah, there is more to life than football, but I won't talk about that anymore. But on the football stuff, Dermot, no, you're right of everything you say. But as somebody put in the chat, there is more to life than football, as I just saw.
Yeah,
but still,
I did say that. I said my family comes first, football comes second. But when we do this, I give this me all.
Yeah.
I could give, if we presented this channel as the players have played, I mean, we wouldn't get any views at all.
Well, no.
I know it's a stupid thing to say, but It's the only comparison I can make.
Just look, if you go down, I'm sure most of the people in the chat will. There will be some drop off. I think it would be unrealistic to say that people will be as interested when we are in the championship, especially maybe from abroad. That's not a knock on you, Tim. I mean, I'm thinking people who really aren't local. I can see that maybe taking a hit, like in the Asian countries and the American countries. I'm just saying, just because the reach won't be as, because everyone's all about the Premier League, isn't it? So that might take a hit. Our international fandom might take a hit. But domestically, we'll still get decent following. Most people in the chat will still be watching, I'm sure. And maybe it will be refreshing. I'm trying to be positive about it.
It might be refreshing. No VAR. I know that would be refreshing.
It'll be a different atmosphere. We won't play all the big boys. We'll miss playing all the big boys, but we'll play teams who we haven't played maybe in ages and ages and ages. We haven't played them unless we saw them in the cups. But I'm trying to find a silver lining. That's all I've really got for you. It'll be different. Don't know about good.
Tonight's about why I've done this stream is about Spurs are broken and why has this happened to Tottenham? Why has it happened? Why have we let it happen? Why have they let it happen? I just don't understand that these owners don't get it. They actually do not get it. And I've heard so much over the last few days, Tequila, right? Of people slagging off us turning up to see the bus in, to saying protesting doesn't work, there's no appetite for protesting. There, a lot of other things. Oh, we go down, I'd be happy. I don't know if any Tottenham fan can actually sit there and say, if we go down, I'd be happy. And then you're not a Tottenham fan. Then getting told this is the club you deserve, you don't deserve anything less. I understand all that. I understand that everyone has their opinion on how they see things, and people how they see things. But I said it before and I say it again. I agreed with Billy and all the support groups what they did on Sunday. I think that was the right thing to do. You and me called it the biggest game of the season so far. We built it up as that. It was a game we had to win. It was a game where everyone had to come together. We did come together, but the players didn't come together. They let us down. I just don't get it. I just don't understand why these players think it's acceptable to put in performances they've been putting in. And the biggest bit for me was when Romero got dispossessed by the Forest area and they broke. He just walked back. There's our captain, just taking a Sunday stroll in the middle of a park. Not a care in the world. Please tell me you will want more from your captain than that.
Well, I'd also ask why he was that far up the pitch, number one. I'd also ask, I imagine, considering that he's one of our top goal scorers, isn't it him and Van der Ven, top goal scorers?
No, I think Richarlison's top goal scorer, I think.
Okay, but it's not much difference, is it? There's not much difference in it.
No, there isn't.
So as one of the highest scorers of our team, which says it all really, that it's centre halves. He probably thought like, well, he needs to get involved because he doesn't trust the attackers to get the job done. And to be honest, I can't blame him for that part. We don't trust him either to get the job done. So I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just trying to understand why he was far up the pitch as a defender anyway. I don't know if it's on the instructions. I don't know if he's taking it upon himself. He is the kind of man I think he probably would take it upon himself to go do these things. Some may call it bravery. Some may call it stupidity. I'm not sure. I don't know what camp you want to go in. But I can't argue that he should have done more to get back. But I do think that I'll try and answer your question. Whose fault it is? I think it's. I think that the blame pie everyone can eat up at the table. I've said it before. I think there's a buffet, and every department more or less, can mostly eat up from that table. That's from the players to the management staff to the scouting network to the business side of it to the board side of it. I don't know if any of them don't deserve to eat from the blame buffet, Demo. I think they all should be.
Yeah,
up
I
there
agree. I agree.
having
And
this-
there's a good point here from Anthony Lyons. Says, keep it up, guys. The fans did nothing wrong. Why is it okay for Liverpool and Everton fans by showing the team support outside the stadium, but it's not for Spurs? Do you know what? People were calling for an Everton style entrance to every home game. It worked for Everton. But them players cared, didn't they? Them players actually Everton players gave it their all. Can you name me one player that you think that is? Well, I'm going to give you three. Can you name me three players you think that showed you any sort of passion or passion, resilience, determination over the last month, over the time of Tudor's reign?
No. People are saying Archie Gray. I think Archie Gray is maybe too young to get it. That's not a knock on the kid. He can't help his age. There's ignorance with Archie Gray, and that's not, again, I'm not insulting him. It's just to do with age. I think that some of the young players probably. This is why I give the young players a pass more often than not. I give players like Gray a pass. I give players like Bergville a pass. I'm much less harsh on them because of the ignorance of youth. The players who are in their mid-20s, players who have been around the game a lot, players who are fully developed, if you want to call it that, should know the ins and outs. They should be fully ready for all the pressures and all the fighting. I'm not going to hold Archie Gray or even Tell, although I think Tell played okay last game, but I wouldn't say he set the world alight this season. But Tell, I also would give him a little bit of a pass because of his age. But the players like Romero and players like that, the maturer players, they're the ones, in my opinion, who are the most accountable for where we are, because they're the ones who should be on that pitch putting in professional jobs, and the key word is professional jobs, and they're not. They're not putting in professional jobs. This team is not a relegation team. We're not a top 6 team. We're not even a top 8 team, in my opinion. We are. Simon Jordan said it, and he was bang on. We're mid-table. That is exactly what we are. We are a mid-table team who has got a lot of injuries, which is affecting us, just like it did last year. But even like last year under Ange, we shouldn't have finished 17th either last year, and we shouldn't be doing as bad as we are this year. This team is not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad.
We're back to where we started. Seriously, we're back to where we started. We all thought when we won the Europa League, I said it, maybe I was being naive, but I said it, we're gonna push on from here. We're gonna have a good summer. We're gonna buy some players. We went in for Morgan Gibbs White. Okay, we didn't get him, but we got Xavi. We were getting players in, and I thought, okay. Then you look at United, just popped out 300 million, bought 3 players, just because Colin is in the chat. And look at them. Their manager didn't start well. The thing I think's turned United season around, they sacked the manager at the right time. And they brought a manager in who made it simple. He put round pegs into round holes. We brought a manager in. Look, on a human level, I know it's like to lose my father. My father's anniversary is actually next month, and he's 23 years past now, but next year, and I miss him every day. So I do you know, and we've all lost parents, one way or the other, and we all know that's not nice when you lose a parent. It's not nice. You miss them. But there has to be a ruthlessness in here as well. There has to be a ruthlessness that, okay, we know you're going through an issue. We know you're going through grief. We know you need to be with your family. This isn't working. Let's do it by mutual consent, which I think which it is going to happen. It's just about Tottenham waiting. I think Tottenham will wait to get somebody in before they announce it. And we'll move on. But what they should have done, and I think you have a right to say I told you so, was they should have brought in Harry Redknapp back when they sacked Thomas Frank. Now, what they should have done was surrounded Harry with proper coaching people, Tottenham men, that all the coaching stuff all had links to Tottenham. I even said it today. Bring in Steve Perriman. Bring him in to do the pre-match talks. Because that is our legendary. He's Mr. Tottenham. I'm very angry with this football club at the moment, Tequila. You know me, I'm not like that. I'm delusional. I'm optimistic. We're gonna win. We're gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna win. I've got no hope we're gonna win a game again this season. And I don't think you've ever heard. Even last year wasn't as bad as that. I just don't know where we're going. And I'm sorry. Is it right you're saying there's a blame game to go around? Totally agree. Totally agree. I think the major people that are responsible for this are the Lewis family and Vinay and Lang.
Yeah, see, I think that's
The players
They're-
have to take responsibility as well. I
yeah,
agree.
but they're responsible for the decisions of this year, with the exception of Lang, who was here last year. Those three have only been involved, at least overtly. Covertly, who knows behind the scenes, but overtly, obviously Vinay only came in the summer, and obviously Levy only went in the summer. So they're only responsible for this season. Like I say, Lange is responsible for a bit longer because he's been here a couple of seasons. This rut goes back to several years ago. This is years of neglect. This is years of not building good teams. And the key word there is teams. Do we have some okay individual players? Yes, we do. But this is not a good team. And it hasn't been a good team, in my opinion, for at least 2.5 years. Yes, we won the Europa. You're right, we did. Kind of against all the odds, almost like, really. But still, at least domestically, this is not a good team for the English league. Maybe it does better in Europe for reasons that I don't really understand any more than the rest of you, but we do seem to overperform in Europe. Overall, we have the last couple of seasons compared to our domestic form, which has been a disaster the last 2 seasons. But it's the years of neglect leading up to this year. This year, so they're not blameless, but I don't think you can say that the people who came before them aren't massively responsible, because a lot of this team was being built over the last 5 seasons, and some individual players have quality. We know that. We know that not every player we have is rubbish, but as an overall team, they don't play well as a team, and they haven't for over 2 seasons now. They haven't domestically played well as a team at all. So we've built a bad team. While some of the players are not bad, and we know they're not bad because we've seen them in other teams doing well, but the team that we've assembled is bad.
This is not. Look, I'm going to slightly disagree. I agree it's a bad put together team, but this is a mess Levy made. When Paratici went to the Lewis family back in October or back in September and said it's lawless round the stadium, round the training ground, players turning up late, doing what they want, they're running the muck. You need to get rid of this manager. You need to listen to me. They didn't listen to Paratici. What's he do? Feck this, I'm out of here. They go and listen to a numpty that said, do you know what? It's okay to keep Thomas Frank in the job, him and Vinay. It's okay. Yeah, I vouch for him. I vouch for him. The Lewis family had to take it out of their hands to sack the bloody bloke. And then what did they go and do? Instead of going with somebody that knew the Premier League, that knew how to get the best out of these players, we had Harry Redknapp coming on the radio to, I'll take it. Tim Sherwood said, I'll take it. Glenn Hoddle says, I'll take it. These are people that care about Tottenham Hotspur, by the way. Glenn Hoddle, an absolute legend of the football club. Steve Perriman said he'd help the coaching. That man's nearly in his 80s. And he said he would come in and help. And they ignored all of it. They ignored every bit of it. No, we'll go for Tudor. He's the man to do it. He's the firefighter. He couldn't put out a wet blanket on Brighton on a Sunday night, because he probably couldn't find the water to put the fire out in the first place. It's just, and then you get to the players. You get to these players.
Yeah, but who brought the players in?
Yeah, but that's the point. So that was the board that brought the players in, Tequila.
Over several seasons. It's not. My point is that I think it's been missing. That this has been coming for years.
This has
This
been
isn't
coming
just
for the
about this-
last 25 years.
Oh, well, no, I wouldn't go that far. It's certainly been a downward trend since Pochettino. Since
We
Pochettino
got
got
lucky
sacked.
with Poch, by the way.
Yeah, we did. And then Conte came in, stabled the ship for like 1.5 seasons. Then he bolted. And I would say since then it has been a complete disaster. He was the last person who gave me any kind of confidence. But I say that, and people say won Europa. Okay, then I'll put an asterisk next to everything I say domestically. I have to keep saying domestically because you're right. We did win Europa League. I can't deny the facts.
That only
But
pasted over the cracks.
Yeah, but domestically, we've been falling like a stone.
But since the day Pochettino was sacked, this club's been going on a downward spiral.
Well, yeah.
And it was going on a downward spiral when he was in charge because Levy wouldn't back them. You know, it doesn't matter. You can blame Levy. You can blame the current owners. You can blame Paratici. You can blame whoever. It's been mismanagement after mismanagement after mismanagement after mismanagement for 25 years. When they built the stadium, they said, don't worry, guys, transfer funds are ring-fenced. We went 3 transfer windows without buying a single player. How's that being ring-fenced? I understand football does evolve. I understand that stadiums have to evolve. But you're giving these players comforts that they don't feel they have to go out and try. Teams come to Tottenham and away teams come to Tottenham and think, God, I wish we had this. Can you tell me the dressing room at Villa Park is like the ones we have at Tottenham? Or the dressing rooms at Old Trafford? I think I don't know, Colin would tell me, are probably the same dressing rooms that Sir Matt Busby's teams changed in back in the day. There's too much comfort about it. There's too much played into their egos. Or their egos must need massaging. Oh, poor Poro.
Yeah, but you say all that, but I'm not saying you're completely wrong. But I have to challenge it. If you're saying that because the stadium's too comfort for the away teams, there's other big stadiums in this country. Arsenal Stadium's not that old. It's older than ours, but not significantly.
I worked in that stadium. I know it's less comfort than the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is far more comfort.
What, the Emirates? You mean not
Yeah.
the Highbury? You mean the Emirates?
No.
Okay.
No, the Emirates.
Okay, but it's
I
still
can tell you that for a fact.
okay, but it's still a modern day stadium.
Yeah,
that is
it's
still
a modern day
still
stadium.
Really
I
good
get you.
stadium.
Yeah.
So
All
my
right, fair
point is that they seem to be doing just fine at home. So I'm not saying it doesn't play a role, but I don't think that we can. I'm not saying you are, Dermot. I'm just saying I don't think you can say that's the reason.
No, I agree. I think it's one of the reasons. It was Simon Jordan said it today. He did say, I don't know if you saw the same thing. They had Gus Poyet in the stadium, and he said something about men, that these Tottenham players ain't men. They're not leaders of men. Romero's not a leader of men. You want a captain out there, right? If you were in a team, Tequila, right, fighting relegation, who would you want as your captain? If you could pick any player from your time watching Tottenham Hotspur, who would you have as your captain, knowing I'm going to get behind that bloke? He's going to lead us out of. He's a man I want to follow. Who would you pick?
Out of the captains I've personally seen, when it comes to inspirational, I don't even think I could class Lloris. Not really.
Would you go for Ledley King?
If he was around more, which obviously wasn't his fault because he was injured so much, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I would have thought Ledley King though wasn't a shouter. He was somebody who gave you inspiration by his performances, by his calmness. Because Ledley King was not an aggressive. He was a calm dude. Ledley King wasn't.
Yeah.
But that's a different kind of captain. I would have been led by him because of how he was and how he acted, but not because he'd grab me by the scruff of the neck and shout at me. And, you know, he wasn't vocal, was he? But he led by example. But he was so injury prone, unfortunately, that it's hard for me. Sol Campbell, it's a difficult one because obviously it's very hard to think of Campbell that way. But I suppose when he was at Spurs before he left, I suppose you can say that he was an okay captain. It's hard, obviously, for us to look back on that, obviously. But Mabbott was a good one, yes, but that was slightly before my time. But...
Graham Roberts, for me, he led by example. Steve Perryman led by example. You need a Roy Keane type player in that dressing room, don't you?
I wish we had a Roy Keane type player.
Do you know what? I mean this in all sincerity. Roy Keane hits the nail on the head when he talks about Tottenham and he says to the players, it's their job. He's bang on. He's bang on.
He normally is, but some people don't like him, don't they? But I think he's amazing. I love it.
I've had Roy Keane. I've been following Roy Keane for Ireland, and of course we had side pan and the walking outside pan. He was right in what he said. He was right in what he was saying.
He doesn't. Roy Keane cuts with a very sharp knife, but normally he cuts well. He gets to the point. He just has a way. The way he does it obviously irks a lot of people, but he normally just gets to the point and just says exactly what it is. He says the truth, in my opinion. And a lot of people don't like the truth, but he doesn't care. That's why I like him. He doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't. I always said it. Give me White Hart Lane any day and a lovely squad and a championship winning squad. Then this stadium and fucking the shite we've been watching. And you're right, it has been sort of the last 5 years. But if you look at the whole 25 years of Enoch Tequila, right, from start to finish, when they took over to now, the whole 20 odd years of Daniel Levy in charge, mistakes were made, weren't they? If I'm being honest, during all that tenure. Where for you, and look, for me, I think the rot set in just before Poch left, and it's been rotten away ever since. What's our identity? I don't know if we have an identity. Growing up, identity for me was Tottenham Hotspur, push and run, cup side, exciting to watch. What is what? Sorry. Yeah, do you want to go on, Tequila? Sorry. I'm sorry if anyone heard that, by the way. I do apologize.
I don't think so, dude. I didn't hear it anyway. So, sorry, you've made me lost my train of thought. I have lost my train of thought. Don't know what? This is stop the show, isn't it?
Sorry. No, I was saying.
You were saying, and I was going to reply to it, and now it's out of my head as well.
Identity. What I knew an identity of what we were about. The identity today, there's no identity, is there?
Oh, well, that's what I was going to say about the rot. Sorry, that's what I was going to reply to about the rot. I think looking back on it, I think that Enoch, Levy, whoever, whatever, Enoch and Levy, they had a good, decent idea about what they wanted to do. That was to make us a Champions League team, or at least a European team. And they achieved that. But I think they didn't know what to do after that, because they were not prepared to push it any further, to invest the kind of money we needed to go from a European qualifying team to title challenges. They were never willing to make that last, because as a business person, I think, don't know, but I think that Levy probably thought to himself, the return is not worth the investment here, because I'm going to have to spend. Back then, when we first got into the Champions League, it was at least a couple of 100 million, and he was probably thinking to himself, "This is not worth me spending this couple of 100 million to maybe for us to go up one place. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep us afloat as a Champions League team. I'm not going to push the boat out to make us title challenger, because that investment is way too much for something that's not guaranteed. But I am more than happy to spend money to retain our position. It's like having Tottenham are like it's like having a participation trophy. Never the ambition to win, just the ambition to go to the dance. It's like going to your high school dance. We've got no intention of doing anything more. We just want to be at the dance. We don't care what we do at the dance. We just want to be at the
No.
dance. We don't care if we leave with the prettiest woman. We just want to be at the dance. We want to be at the table. We don't care what the food is, but we want to be eating from the table. But we don't really care about the food. We just want to eat at the table. Once Enoch started eating at the table, they had no desire to do anything more than to stay at the table and eat. They didn't want to do anything else, push any further forward.
No, they didn't.
For
They
years,
didn't. Yeah,
status quo for years.
it is, and it has been the same for years. It's
But
been
then,
the same for
but then, Dermo, we fell off, and at the times that we fell out, if you can look at the patterns, the time when we spent the most money was only when we were in danger of falling out of being let out of that table. The only time we really got our money out properly and really tried to do something was when we were in danger of falling out of that cartel. And that's the word I'm going to use, the cartel, the top 6 cartel. We were happy to make it there, even though we were always 6 out of the 6, by the way, because the other 5 all won league titles. We never did. We were always the 6th place in that top 6 for the record. And anytime we were scared of being knocked out of that top 6 cartel, then Levy or Enoch would then decide to spend to retain our status. And then something happened along the way after Pochettino. Like Pochettino got us even further. Pochettino did take us to the next level, probably against the idea. I bet you Levy ain't gonna never say it, but I bet you Enoch never thought that they never thought Pochettino was really going to get us to a Champions League final. No, they never thought we really were going to challenge for the league. They were probably as surprised as we were that we'd actually managed to push on and build a very good team, nearly a title-winning team. Pochettino had a very, very good team, Dermo.
Oh, he did. Built very light as well. By the way, it wasn't the most expensive team in the world. I mean, you buy Dali Ali for 5 million. And look what you got.
No, that goes back to what we were saying about building a good team. That team was built extremely well because it was built by other people who are no longer at the club. Unfortunately for us.
And that team was built on the specific orders of Pochettino and how he wanted his team to play. We got a team now that has been built, or squad now has been built for 2 or 3 different managers. To sort of go on from that, we know Igor is probably going to leave the club by mutual consent. We know. Look, on a human level, we feel for him for losing his father, and we know that's hard. We know that's going to be hard on him, and anyone that's gone through that, we know how that feels. So I understand. On that point, my point is Tottenham do have to be ruthless here. We have to be cruel to be kind.
I think you also, Dermo. I mean, let's be realistic about this, right? It's not like he's in the job for years. He was never signed. If this was a person who was signed on to a long contract, then I'd feel a bit harsher about it. He was only going to be here at max 3 or 4 months, right? Till May or June. And then he was going to be, and he knew that the chances of him being the actual permanent Spurs manager, he probably would have had to have won every game, Dermo, to really be in with a shout. If he would have come in and won every game and got us to like 7th or 8th, which could have been achievable had we won every game, then by all means, I think that's a fair shout. Like, okay, maybe this guy has got something really about him. So he must know that the chances are he was never going to be the permanent Spurs manager. So even though on a human level, of course, he probably is going to be thinking it's a fair thing. I think Igor, if he's a fair enough chap will probably think, I was only going to be here for a couple of months anyway, so it's best for everyone involved if I probably step away. Hopefully he's a fair enough minded individual, which he might not be right now because he's just lost his dad. So I don't know how fair-minded you're going to feel right now, but I don't think we should worry that much about doing the right thing. I think it's obvious what the right thing from everyone.
It's obvious what the right thing, but we've got to be ruthless about it. And look, we've seen a lot. This is the latest I got. The board are split, and this is the other bit which is really annoying me. What are they split about? Do you know? Are they split? Are some of them that deluded, or that blind, or that tick, or that feckin' stupid that? Hang on, we're 1 point above relegation. West Ham play Wolves before we play Sunderland when they return in the Premier League. So we could be in the bottom 3 by the time we play Sunderland, which I think will have us will hit the players even harder psychologically. Do you know, we're now hoping Wolves, who've been shit all year, can do us a favour and beat West Ham. We shouldn't be like this. So they have to come out and say, right, sorry, you're gone. We'll pay you off, whatever. You're gone. You go and be with your family. You go and be with your whoever. You go through your grieving. Don't worry about us. We'll find somebody else. Then you're looking at who you're going to bring in. Okay, we're supposed to have a list of names here ready to go. Let's go. Let's bring in Harry. Let's bring in Les. Let's bring in Jermaine Defoe, right? For the coaching and the first team. Let's bring in Glenn Hoddle to probably help as well, oversee with Harry. Okay? Let's bring in Steve Perriman to talk to the players before the games. A legend. And do it from people that know what it's about to support this football club, that know what it's about to be with this football club, that know what it's about, what this football club's about. Eagle hasn't got a bloody clue, bless him, what Tottenham Hotspur is about or what the Premier League was about.
And also, Dermo, we shouldn't feel bad about criticising him, not even attacking, that's the wrong word, criticising him for his football decisions just because his father passed away. Because that's something completely separate than his personal life. So I feel for the man as a human. As a football manager, I still don't want him here.
No.
So, and that shouldn't, those two things, just for the record, those two things shouldn't get involved with each other.
And they should be separated as well, by the way. Yes, there's no way that he should have stopped Simmons for the game on Sunday. That you would have to be brain dead to do that. You would have to be permanently brain dead. Out on whatever drink you can drink. Be there, but probably like Phil Mitchell out of EastEnders. Even he would have put Xavi in that side on Sunday. Santa Claus would have put Xavi in that team on Sunday. Even bloody Sam Allardyce would have put him in that team on Sunday. It made no sense. Destiny 5 is right. Destiny 5.
I asked you the question, Dermo, when you told me the lineup when I was watching. I asked you the question, and none of it made sense to me once you showed me the lineup. I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now. So,
I mean, we're playing in a World Cup playoff on Thursday, right? I got more faith in Ireland reaching the World Cup than I do in Tottenham winning the game at Sunderland. And we lost to Armenia. We've been shit, and I'm quite happy to say we've been crap for the last 5 years at the Republic of Ireland. We've been absolutely dreadful. Mind you, we did have Stephen Kenny managing us for about 3 of them, and that was a total nightmare. But the point is, I trust my country more playing on Thursday, and even I trust them even more for them players to turn up and beat Denmark in the next week to qualify for the World Cup. To do Tottenham turning up at the Stadium of Light, or whatever it's called now, and beat Sunderland when the Premier League resumes. I've got no faith in this team.
Nor should you have, I'm afraid, because your eyes. I mean, I know you think with your heart a lot, Dermo. You've admitted that that's the kind of fan you are, and I'm not saying anything wrong or right with that. It's just differences. But why? You how can I phrase it? You will probably find it easier to believe in them than I will. And if you can't see anything, what chance has a lot of us got? But you can't find anything to have any faith, and that's a word in this team. I think what you're saying is most people. I think if you ask most Spurs fans, there'll be very few of them who will probably say, "Yes, I believe in this team." And if they do, I would like to know exactly what they see that most of us do not.
Yeah, I got a little bit. I know somebody. I wanted to bring up this man. Big up to Rob. Great to see you back, bud. He was in earlier on the chat earlier. The 3 Stewarts haven't returned, and maybe they're getting ready for your pit.
Fremantle only one lives. Demo. Fremantle only one lives.
Have we ever had 3 Stewarts in the chat at one time? That was mental.
We won't have them any again because only one of them's left alive. So
yeah, one of them is grabbing his hat and his coat. When you said to him about that, right, I'm out of here. Big up to Rob. He says, not Forest's best players on midfielders, so pack the midfield. Yeah, I agree. Big up to Rob, though. Great. Look, come over to YouTube, hit like and subscribe. Right. Somebody did put a little bit in. If anyone believes in this team, believes in blind faith, sorry.
What are you sorry for?
What are you sorry for? I believe in blind faith quite a lot, but even I don't believe in this team. Right, where is it? A lot of people in the chat. I'm sorry I'm not bringing up chat tonight. There's a lot of people make some good joints. Big up to Spurs TV. Big up to Tom Kingham as well. Big up to Simply. Big up to Destiny 5. Big up to Mandy. Mandy Dye. Big up, Mandy. Hope you're doing well. Big up to David Clark being in there. Big up to John. Big up to John. Big up to John. Big up to Rain Man. Big up to the man himself, Colin. Big up to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Frog on the Wall. The only two West Ham fans I truly love and respect. Do you know what? Sunday Tequila, I was in the West Ham loving. I was surrounded, right, by an Arsenal fan, 3 West Ham fans, and a Chelsea fan.
Poor guy.
I'm telling you, it was nightmarish. Big up to you, Frog. Big up to your Tone as well. Breaking news, Tottenham Hotspur have new naming rights stadium next year. Our stadium will be called White Hart Lane. We've got this one here, and I have got an update on this for you, Johnny. So big up Johnny Tottenham. He says, breaking news. Tequila signs for Barcelona for a £55 million fee. He will start in the... You
should see my signing on fee, guys.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it was €1. It was €1.50 plus a cup of coffee in the club shop.
And some quavers, yeah.
Yeah, I
had to negotiate for the quavers.
I was trying to get a fiver for you. You're happy to take. I don't know. We just didn't go for the fiver.
Got the wrong agent. That's why. I need Sky Phillips. Is that his name?
That's it. Yeah, I'm sacked apparently. Xavi wants to leave Tottenham Hotspur. Hopes to return to Barcelona. Barca $46.2 million. Price tag as acceptable. No decision yet. Chelsea also linked with the player. The latest I've got on that for you is Tottenham midfield. Xavi Simons is keen on a move to Barcelona this summer. The situation has taken a twist with a significant drop in his asking price, making the deal far more realistic. Tequila's about to fall off his chair laughing. Barcelona have long been a term admirers, and this could be the moment they make the serious move. Key details: the fee is believed to have dropped to a cut price level compared to previous valuations, which could be tempted. The price is around €40 million.
Ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that. I know that we all get given this stuff in good faith, so it's not me attacking the person saying it. But if any of that was remotely true, we've only just signed him last summer, and we're gonna take half what we paid for him?
Yeah, I know.
Don't think so.
No. Are you surprised no news has come out yet about Tottenham moving their manager? Does it surprise you?
The timing doesn't surprise me, no, because if you can't tell, Dermo, the vultures are already flying around the carcass at Spurs, and if we do get relegated, there's going to be an awful lot of vultures flying around our carcass. So, then again, let me ask you this, Dermo. Considering that it's most of these players' fault we've got relegated, I've already said to you before that they can all go, and when I mean all of them, I honestly mean all of them. I don't care if they all go. I have no problem with starting again. At all. Even the ones who I don't blame as much, like Archie Gray and Bergville, whilst I don't hold them as responsible as I do a lot of them, I still don't care if they're here or not. I don't. That's where I'm at. I'm sorry.
It has to start. This has to start. The process has to start now. I just got sent this on X by Chelmsford City FC. Now, listen to this. This is an official Clarets. I don't know if it's their official post or not. It may be, but Chelmsford City would like to invite season ticket holders of Tottenham Hotspur to come down to a game and enjoy some non-league football. On Friday, the 3rd of April, we'll host Enfield Town for 3 p.m. kickoff. Any fans who present the 25-26 season ticket at the gate will get able to get in for just £1. How the mighty have fallen. Seriously. How the mighty have fallen.
Desperate times, mate.
Desperate times calls for desperate fucking measures. Big up economy says you're a relegation battle. If you go down, you take what you get. Exactly.
Yeah, but we're not relegated yet, Com. And it's like, if we are relegated, I know that our bargaining position goes down a lot. I get that, but we're not relegated yet. So, like, if we get relegated, then by all means, I don't think we won't get maximum value for our players. Like Madison arguably probably was worth more than we got from Leicester, but we got him for that price because he was relegated.
Apparently, Colin says I would have gotten you 2 packs of Quavers, a Twix, and the Kinder Egg.
Yeah, but Con would have taken 50% of that because that's how much he charged me.
Yeah.
So.
And he says you can't afford a player on £195,000 a week in the Championship. No, we can't.
Yeah.
Look, I've got 2 more things, and then we're going to end off because I know you're live soon. And look, I if Colin can do me a favor, he's very good at this. Can he be able to sort of edit the beginning of this before I came in, when I had my sort of 5-minute rant? Poor old Tequila didn't know what he came into.
I missed the first. What did I miss that was so? Why did you want to edit it?
Because I think it was from the heart. It was passionate.
Oh, you want to
from the heart
to release it onto video? Yeah, why not? Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. So, 2 things. One, change for Tottenham. Right, I want to talk a bit about that, and then lastly, when will we hear about a new manager at Change? Change for Tottenham. Now, Change for Tottenham began a lot of stick from a lot of people. We had Billy on Saturday, who explained the reasons why. For your own view in it, Tequila, do you still agree with Change for and the supporters group for doing what they did? Do you understand why they did what they did?
Yeah, but why are they getting pelters? I'm curious.
Because apparently it's just from I'm not going to name people or say people, but it's from the usual suspects that whatever Change for Tottenham do, it's wrong. People are complaining that we shouldn't be partying. People even in this chat, a few people in this chat are putting comments in, and I've seen a few that it's laughable that we're partying before the game and we can't even go and protest. I understood why. Can you understand why they did it? Silence is golden.
Just thinking. Can I understand? Yes. My question back is then, Dermo, what would you have rather them done? What would you have rather them have done then?
I rather did what they did. Rather they did what they did. I don't see a problem in it whatsoever. It was the right thing to do. It's still the right thing to do. It was about getting behind the team. It was about getting behind the players, showing the players that we care, that we're there to support them. That we're there to support them. And a lot of people said, I've heard stupid quotes like, Change for Tottenham has sold their soul to Enoch, and this is what Enoch would have wanted, and fans criticising for leaving when we were 2-0 down. And that is a very good point, Rob. Perfect. Would people complain if we won? Would people be saying, let's do it for the next game? Let's do it. Let's do it for the next game. It's a very good point. If we won, would people be complaining?
I think people would have cared, would they? We've got 3 points that we need to stay up. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And look, we Spurs TV says I felt like Change for Tottenham lowered their stock and discredited themselves a bit. I get the parade, but why could you have not been parade thing and protest at the same time? Well, that sort of. I'll let you answer that if you want, Tequila, but I just think that defeated the object.
I think that when Billy was on here, I asked him what would they do if
that question.
When I asked him in particular, I said to him, I was curious what would they do if our relegation was confirmed before the Everton game, before the last game of the season, and he said to me that they will go out. So it's not like the protest of stopping; it's about the timing of it. Like, I understand why they did it. Obviously, it didn't work, which is not their fault. It's not their fault that it didn't work. It's not their fault that we lost 3-0. The fans aren't responsible for that one. But I don't think you can be that harsh on them for not wanting to do the protesting when they were trying to put a feet as much as we can, because there's been so much negativity with good reason. Right, there is negative stuff for good reason, because we haven't won a game all year. Okay, so there's good reason for the negative stuff, but they're trying their best to eclipse that and to try and kind of remove it, trying to get a party atmosphere. So the players might, and the word is there, might. So they were hoping that the players might care, and unfortunately, we found out that they don't.
No.
But we tried. So I don't dislike them for that. Right? If people would have preferred them to protest, I understand it, because why people might perceive it like, oh, that I don't think that they're working with Enoch or anything silly like that. I just think they thought to themselves, we need to stay up. If this helps us stay up, then we won't do the protest. We'll try to just get a good feel factor into this club to give the players a little bit of an edge that they thought they needed. Unfortunately, as a person in chat said, if it would have worked, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But it didn't work.
No. And also, to Rain's point, he said, with Change for Tottenham, the decision to not protest was correct. What was wrong with Change for Tottenham was saying Enoch out 4 days before Flip to support the parade. They should have cancelled the protest and shut up. I think, look, to my views on this, Tequila, I think hindsight's brilliant, isn't it? Hindsight's a wonderful thing to have. And I'm sure Billy or the guys over there would have changed it, wouldn't have said anything, but you can't change what was said, can you? Hindsight's a wonderful mistress to have. Do you agree, or
No? I understand where Rain's coming from, and they might, in hindsight, as you said, they might look at it and think to themselves, okay, we probably shouldn't have said that a couple of days ago. But I do say that, does it matter that much because it didn't work? And I do believe if it would have worked, none of us would care at all.
no?
Like it would just be just dust in the wind, dude.
It
But
will.
obviously, because it hasn't worked, it looks like it was a waste of time. Which I mean, from the videos I saw, Dermo, my fans all had a great time from what I saw, and I'm okay with the fan. I'm okay with the fans having a good time, because they've been given absolute dog shite on the football pitch for the whole for nearly 2 years domestically now. So
Yeah,
let them have a good time.
Yeah, look, I agree with Coover. Protesting doesn't matter anymore. Protesting doesn't. We don't. I agree with this, Coover, 100%. Protesting doesn't matter anymore. It's too late. If we stay up, then nobody will bother protesting anyway, and all the scrap continues. And he win yet again. We have more chance of getting rid of Enoch in the Premier League than we do of getting rid of Enoch in the Championship.
Yeah.
So I this is why I agree with what changed. I do agree. I was speaking to Billy on X today, and I said, look, don't listen to them. Just keep doing what you're doing. We know I know they're going to change a lot in the summer, aren't they? For what he was telling us on Saturday with advertising and changing tactics as well, isn't there? So I think there's more to come. I think from them, isn't there? From the summer and next season. So I think it's a case of watch this space, isn't it? On that, but do you still have that same thought process now, Tequila? We just still need to get behind the team by hook or by crook, and we've got to stay in this Premier League by one way or another.
There is a part of me, maybe it's me being a cynical person sometimes, that does think it's too late, and that maybe there is a part of me that does think that we should protest more heavily than ever now, because as far as I'm concerned,
yeah, I agree.
Because that was the game we had to win. I said that weeks before, Dermo. We didn't win it. We didn't even draw it. It went as bad as it possibly could have done. So I think we're probably already done. So there is a part of me that says now is the time to do it. But as Dermo just said, they ain't selling if we get relegated, because they ain't going to take a third of the club's value. If they were to sell when we're relegated, what kind of neither one of us are business gurus, Dermo, but what kind of price do you think they would get for a championship club? Yes, I know the stadium's worth. I know that there's a lot of stuff that's value there, but what value do you think is going to be compared to what it is as a Premiership team? A third of value? A quarter?
Probably, yeah, a quarter.
Why would they sell?
Why would they? Exactly.
They wouldn't.
Exactly. Why would they sell? You're right. Why would they sell? Look, I said it on Saturday. I think a lot of us smaller channels have to come together. We have to come together. We have to do this, and we have to come together. I'm not talking about the big channels. The big channels can take care of themselves, Tequila. They really can. But I think our small channels have to come together and do what we can on YouTube, because we're the voice of the fans. If you think about it, that is what this channel is about. It's about fans, and we're the voice of them fans. And we people come into our shows every week, every day. We do a show every night, and they come in with the comments, and we bring them up and we discuss them and whatever. But I think, and look, I'm from a country that's rebellious in nature. I'm from a country where we had to fight for our freedom. I'm from a country where rebellion is probably built into every Irish person, Irish child burnt. And I know you're giggling. You're half Scottish. You should have rebellion in you as well, mate.
They will never take our. They may take our lands, but they'll never take our freedom. Isn't that what he says?
Yeah,
Braveheart?
exactly. That's you. That's what you say every morning when you wake up. But do you get my point? I'm trying to be funny with it in a little way, but I'm not. I think the big channels can take care of themselves. Channels that are 19, 20, 25, 100,000, that bracket, right? They can take care of themselves. I think us little small channels that are around our group, I would say, I'm thinking of two up top of my head. Kate's channel, I don't know, other channels that are around our thing should all come together. And we do our protesting. We can't get to the protest, so we do our protesting on here. And I think we've got to do that. And I think whoever starts the protest, either it's Change for Tottenham or whatever, they have to link into the YouTube channels that are Tottenham YouTube channels to get their message out there. Because that is the biggest thing in the world. If you're trying to do a protest, or you're trying to get people together, or you're trying to get this going, it's all about advertising. It's all about getting together. It's all about getting your whatever you're talking out there. And we have to make this club listen. It's either from the fans that's at the club or people on do these YouTube channels. We have to make them listen. And I think people that go to football now, Tequila, don't want hassle. They don't want negativity.
I agree. Yeah,
they just want to enjoy that. Then it's down to us, then, isn't it? It's down to us here on YouTube channels to be the voice for the fans. We know Tottenham watch these channels. They have people watching every Tottenham YouTube channel, big and small. And it's down to us to if it is, say, for example, it is Change for Tottenham, right? Then a gang of us have to get together and be the voice, the YouTube voice piece for Change for Tottenham, or whatever it is, to put the people out there, to get the advertising. What do you think to that quickly? And we'll end off then, Tequila. What do you think to that? Do you think that's workable?
It takes a lot of organisation. It's not an impossible thing. But to get back to your point very quickly about, I think you're bang on when you said about, I think most fans, not all, but a lot of fans, they want to go to football because they want to leave reality behind, like all forms of entertainment, be it films, video games, going to the theatre, whatever. Sports is that as well. It's sports is a way of escapism. So when a lot of people go there, they've had probably a hard week at work. They want to go and relax. They don't want to be dealing with stuff like the owners and stuff like the politics. They'd had all that all week. They don't want that when they go on a Saturday to watch the Spurs. That's not what a lot of these people go for. So it's a difficult one because I can't be angry at them. I'm disappointed because obviously it's affecting us. But I also understand that as an entertainment product, you just want to go and have fun. You don't want to deal with anything. You just want to go get some food, hopefully watch the game, hopefully win. Although you know that in sports, you're not guaranteed to win, but at least hopefully you'll be entertained. And if you lose, at least it was a good game, right? That's what you go there for. It's a form of escapism. So people go there. They don't. That's why when I said to Billy and I asked him, "Do you think it really is
Yeah.
the fact that these people don't know, or is it more like they just do know but they don't care?" He seemed to indicate, and I'm not going to put words in his mouth, that maybe he thought it was because that they didn't, they weren't aware of the protest. I personally don't believe that. That's just me personally. I think a lot of people are very well aware of it, but most of them don't care because they want to just go there to have a good time. They don't want to deal with reality. That's not why people want to go there.
No, I agree.
That's
But
my opinion. Just my opinion.
no, I agree. Look, very quickly, Rain says, did either of you think the relegation parade would work? Yeah, I did. Maybe I'm just an optimist. I did. I thought it would get. I looked at what it did to the Everton players. I thought the Tottenham players would get into that, and then we had Romero with his. He's a plonker that can fucking leave tomorrow. I'd buy his tickets to Argentina, and never come back.
You really don't like him anymore, do you, Demo? You used to like Romero.
I've got a love-hate relationship with Romero. I do have a love-hate relationship. Well, when I saw him walking back and not running back to help, that I was done. That was me done with him. He can go and stay in Argentina for the rest of the season for a life. Ryan said you're a rebel, Dermo. Yeah, of course I'm a rebel. Yes, Dermo, they have spies out there. And then he also says most fans go to games just to get away from the family and the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, Robert put that is the best suggestion I've seen. LOL, I don't know what it is. Tequila. All humans beings generally tend to the straight quo. That they just want a good life. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I do. I understand.
Rain says, oh no, delusional Dermo's coming out. Someone save Dermo. Well, if you heard me at the start, I was not delusional Dermo. I was angry Dermo. Not just Romero. Yeah, okay, simply, yeah, they can all bugger off. We're going to end it there. Well, listen, the news at the moment is going across. I will read it to you very quickly, the latest situation at Tottenham. It is Tottenham are seriously considering a managerial change and pressure mounting on Liga due to extra after results. Despite reports suggesting decision in the next 24-48 hours, our sources indicate to us that no final call has been made yet, but the situation is active and developing quickly. Roberto De Zebra is on the Spurs shortlist and admired by key figures in the club. However, he is not fully convinced about taking the job mid-season and would prefer summer move unless the conditions are right, which would be a relegation clause in his contract. If Tottenham get relegated, he can leave in the summer. Yeah. I thought you might say, wow.
No, I mean, that relegation clause, I mean, that says everything I personally need to know, but that's me.
Yeah, exactly. The board are split between acting now wait. I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for the Chinese to come. Short-term caretaker options are being explored quietly. Yes, get Harry Redknapp, Tim Sherwood, Glenn Hoddle, Steve Perriman, Chris Hughton in. Get them all in. They save Tottenham. Relegation concerns are accelerating. Are they only now just realizing, oh shit, we're in a relegation battle? I mean, I want to know. Right, please ask me, Tequila, what do they watch when they go to the game? They've got these little monitor. Is Viv trying to catch up with the latest episode of EastEnders with a bottle of champagne?
Dermo, do you think a woman who's got that much money probably watches EastEnders?
I don't know. Okay, watching then Who Wants to Be a Billionaire? Is Vinay watching the latest episode of the Teletubbies because he missed it the night before? Is Lang watching the YouTube series How to Be a Director of Football Mark 1?
He's got one of those DOFs for dummies, you know, the yellow books you see lying around. He's got one of them. That's what he uses.
I know. Do slub today. I will get you to do that in a minute. Oh yeah, so that is latest on that. I've forgotten how long we have talked about these owners. I'm on 60. I'd be surprised if they sell in my lifetime. The way we're going. The Dongos are running the football and not helping. Absolutely true blue hen do. I'm big up the Cougar. It says people only accept the status quo if the time's good. Revolutions happens when they had enough, but I just don't think most of our fan base feel things are too bad. It's hopeless. It is. Tequila, where are you on in a little while, bud?
I am on my Play Pouch gaming channel. I'll put the link in the chat. I've delayed the stream by 15 minutes because I need to get some food and I haven't had a chance to eat. So I'm going to rush to get some food. Then I'll be starting about 9:45. And you can find me on the No Cell Wrestling channel, which you've got a show tomorrow night at 7:00.
Yes. Yeah, I will be doing another stream on my gaming channel. I'll be doing it with sound this time.
You got the sound figured out, have you? Good.
Not yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I will figure it out. But yeah, get over to only boy. Old boys do gaming.
Till we
That's the
die.
name. of the
Till we
channel.
die. Yeah.
Yeah, till we die. Yeah, Colin pulls his hair up when they says it. He says, "I'm obsessed with the till we die." It is, but don't worry. Thursday night there's a watch along, and after the whistle, Ireland, Republic of Ireland versus away to Chechnya for the place to play in the final to qualify for the World Cup. Watch along here after the whistle. Predicted lineup will be out tomorrow evening. Me and Mr. Brady, and we will be doing a big thing. Big up to Dr. Tottenham Therapy. Big up, guys. Great show. I'm a new YouTuber myself. Well, big up.
I
Look,
love the name. That's good.
I love the name too.
Are you taking on new clients? Because I think me and Dermo and a lot of people here would like to use your services, please, Dr. Tottenham Therapy.
Look, do send us an email. The email's linked below. Send us an email. We'll get you on, bud. We'll get you on. If you need any help, you know where we are. Big up to Dave Max. Hi guys, my club is a mess right now. Hope you guys stay up. I believe in you will. Yeah, Celtic ain't doing very good. Yeah, Tottenham not doing good. See you soon, Tequila says Rhino. And Tequila Cooper says Dr. Tottenham Therapy subbed. I will have a look now, mate. Yeah, I'll sub in a minute too, bud. But guys, that is it. Thank you all for watching. I am now gonna go out of here. Tequila's gonna go and kill some zombies. And I'm going to go and look at Lego. I'm going to watch somebody talk about Lego for the next half hour.
Not Arteta, not Lego Man Arteta. Right.
No, it's not. No, here he is. Here he is. There's Arteta. There he is. It's in his red suit, ready to go. On that bombshell. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
So, yeah.
Any news we're bringing to you first and fastest.